Welcome back to Afternoon Live. After being deceived by someone who she thought was her perfect match, our next guest set out to learn what red flags she had missed. Here to share how to know if you are dealing with a manipulator, we welcome back trauma-informed coach and author of 365 Happy Bedtime Mantras, Shannon Kaiser. So nice to see you.
Hi, it's so good to be back. Thanks.
We're going to jump right in and talk about some red flags. So tell me about calculated kindness and how to spot that.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about like manipulation just in general as a strategy. And what we're talking about today are really the master manipulators who really go in for it and exploit other people on purpose, but they disguise it through manipulation. And calculated kindness is a strategy. So you'll start to see it. Maybe they seem very charming at first and they seem very, very just wonderful, but they're not consistent with that. It's usually out in public. It's usually when they're almost performing it, maybe behind closed doors. They're very cold or distant, or they all of a sudden change in personality. So you want to just look for clues like, is this person consistent? Is their kindness very much who they are, or is it a strategy?
And maybe they're telling you how great they are without necessarily showing you how great they are.
Exactly. And this is actually a tip that is really important to recognize because master manipulators, and these are like the narcissistic people or even sociopaths or anyone that falls kind of in the dark triad personality type in psychology, they will tell you who they are. I've seen this time and time again where even this person was like, well, I'm not a cheater, but then they really were a cheater. And so people kind of project early on, especially when you're getting to know them in the relationship, they tell you who they are. And, it'd be like saying, I'm a nice person. I don't usually say that because nice people don't have to say that they're nice. It's your demonstration and your behaviors show who you are. It's really about the character underneath. So look for small signs. Are they telling me what they want me to believe about them? And do their actions actually match their words?
What about things to look for in their eyes when you're interacting with them?
This one's very interesting because you'll see it quite a bit with especially narcissistic people when they're talking. Usually the conversation will come back to them. And I've seen this time and time again, it happened many times to me where when I am talking, there's almost a glaze that goes over their eyes. It's very subtle. It's like the curtains shut. And what this is, it's kind of a vacant eye. They're not interested in what you have to say. They don't ask questions about you. It's really about them, their own agenda, what they can take from you, but they use it in a way that, again, when you compile these tips together, they're being calculated with their charm. They're saying the right thing. They're telling you who they are, but you'll notice little micro movements like the eyes totally tune out when you're talking, or they don't remember details about you that are actually pretty important.
What about a scenario where you're just like, gosh, this just feels too good to be true? Sometimes maybe it is.
It almost always is, almost always. And this is, psychologists and therapists talk about this a lot. They're really good at masking and becoming what you need. They call it the love bomb phase, where they will find out what you like. They're studying you. Master manipulators learn what you want and they become that. I had an experience with a con artist who faked an entire friendship. And this person, it felt too good to be true. I even called my brother. I'm like, this is the male version of me. Same music, same type of movies, and it was all calculated. It was all a lie. And so you really want to say, if it feels too good to be true, then most likely it is.
Well, and a lot of the communication, maybe it can feel superficial, right? Like they're not really investing in learning about you deep down as a person.
Yeah, and this is exactly it. It almost only always goes to a level. And what is happening is they're really looking for control. They feel they need to control. They're not looking for connection. So if you're looking to build relationships and grow your connections with people, you'll notice it gets to a certain point and it's almost like you'll start to see that things you've shared with them are being exploited or used against you, a personal story. And these are master manipulator tactics where the conversation feels superficial. You may ask them a personal question and they deflect or they won't answer, but they want to know a lot of deep secrets about you. That's a red flag as well.
Are there other facial expressions or body cues we can look out for as well?
Yeah, this is important because micro expressions really tell, and I think sometimes we're so invested in what they're telling us or, oh, this is someone who's interested in me. We want to recognize that attention is not intimacy. So somebody who's maybe been neglected in childhood, and I know that's what happened for me. I had emotional neglect and I had relationships where I didn't have a lot of attention. So any attention, I was mistaking it. And the micro expressions were really the tell, where they smile, but there was a coldness in their eyes. There was no real warmth. the other things you can see is maybe they will say something and, there's the classic, if they look one direction or the other, they're lying. I don't always fulfill or fall into that. You can tell someone's lying when you feel it within yourself as well. Our intuition is our greatest asset. Everyone, your intuition, every one of these signs I'm saying and sharing through each experience, I knew my intuition said something's off, something's off. And, a real tip too is hug them. This is an advanced tip. With people like narcissists or sociopaths or people who are really, they don't have empathy. They don't have an ability to feel empathy. So there's actually a disconnect from their heart. So I noticed every time when I hugged the con artist or this womanizing ex-partner, there was a coldness, and I felt it was like hugging a wall or a dead fish. And I'm an empath, so I feel warmth and people, I'm a cushion person. So I recognized when I was hugging them, I was like, why does it feel so empty? This isn't a cut and dry rule. Don't go hugging everyone and diagnose them. It is something, if you are someone who's trying to build a connection with someone and protect yourself from being exploited, these are small tips that can help you.
Always great stuff, Shannon. Thank you so much. It was great seeing you again.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, Shannon's book again is 365 Happy Bedtime Mantras, and we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.